Welcome back to the No Snob Wine Podcast. Today we figure out if the shape of your wine glass makes your wine taste better. Later, Chuck features a red from Spain and I tried a red blend from Portugal.
So let me ask the sommelier, does the shape of your wine glass matter?
I think it does, but not for the reasons people think. And I think we should get to the end, but we should talk about wine glasses.
What kind do you normally have in your cupboard and use more so like on a day-to-day, week-to-week kind of thing?
Sure. That's a good question because there's kind of four main shapes of wine glasses. Now, this is obviously a podcast. I'll do my best to describe them, but the one probably everybody's most familiar with is the Tulip. So you'll have sort of a bulbous or rounded bottom, and it tapers to a finer point at the top. So a smaller rim with a larger bottom.
Pretty much the glass that you're going to see on your restaurant table.
Exactly.
99% of the time.
Absolutely. And a lot of water glasses at restaurants look like that too. So they'll look very familiar. Then you have a goblet glass. And really, it's almost the same shape, but it has a wider mouth. It still slightly tapers up to a smaller point, but it's a lot wider. And that's going to be important when we figure out what's going on. The next is a balloon. And that's just a big round glass with a big round opening. It really doesn't sort of taper. It's just kind of like a fishbowl.
Exactly.
On a stem. Yeah. And then a flute, which is not really for table wine. It's for sparkling wine. Those tall, skinny.
Sparkling.
Yeah. Which I'm not a fan of. But if you caught the champagne episode, you'd know that.
Yeah, you would know that. I don't like them either. I like my sparklings in just a white glass.
Yeah.
White tulip glass.
That's a good call. White glass. The champagne tasting glass actually looks more like a tulip glass than a flute. They don't use those in France. That's what I learned when I was in France. That was worth the whole trip to France. So how many wine glasses, like let's forget the shape for a second. How many wine glasses do you think you own?
Of all the different types included, maybe 8 to 10.
But 8 to 10 wine glasses, you really don't have many friends, do you?
Not a lot of friends, and I also don't like it when they come over to my house. I'm just kidding, friends.
No, yeah, you don't need a ton of wine glasses to be honest. I probably have about a dozen. I probably have about 2 dozen wine glasses. But that's from trying a lot of different shapes of glasses. Like I tried to figure this out. I know we were just talking about how you were trying to figure this out, but I don't have a lot of the same shape of glasses. So
oh, you like the variety.
I've got a lot. Yeah. I couldn't set a table for 8 with the exact same glass. I don't think I have 8 of the same glass.
Because you break a lot?
No, I just have
style?
4, 6, I like these.
Okay.
Yeah. So now if we think of your 10 glasses, how many different shapes do you think you own?
2.
You own 2. Okay. What are your 2?
I have one that's more suited to reds and then one that's more suited to whites. So
and tell me what that means to you.
So the reds would be my red glass is actually the Cabernet Merlot stemless from Riedel. So how would you describe that? It's pretty much a tulip glass with no stem.
Yeah, and they're a bit taller, right?
A little taller, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the white glasses actually do have a stem. I don't know if that makes them classy or not, but I like my whites in the stem so I don't warm up the wine as I hold the glass.
Yeah.
Also, not a fan of fingerprints on the glass. Can't stand that. So the stems, I get to avoid that as well. But that's my white glasses. Stem and a little thinner point at the top. I think it comes to...
Yeah, I think I probably have maybe only of all those glasses, 4 shapes as well.
Okay.
And I tend to go towards the more tulip shaped glasses every day. And I don't see a huge difference in the shapes of my glasses.
For red and white, you don't care as much? Or
not
they're just so similar that it barely matters?
Yeah, not terribly. You mentioned Riedel, and I think we've mentioned Riedel on this podcast a handful of times. We both like Riedel. They're from Austria. They're crystal or glassware manufacturer. And their claim to fame is they basically have a glass for almost every varietal.
Yeah.
And
you can even buy a pack of their glasses. That's a mixed pack of glasses. So you got this is your Riesling glass, this is your Chardonnay glass.
Yeah. Not for
Not
me.
necessary,
Yeah,
right?
not for me.
Not necessary.
No. I haven't found that big of a difference, but there are some differences, and you've actually you've keyed on right away the main difference, and we'll get to that in a second. Stems, you said the main reason why I want a stem is for white wine because the heat of your hand. So even with the red glasses, like you don't want to overwarm your reds.
No, you don't. The red should be below room temperature when you drink them.
Yeah, for sure.
Just slightly, not cold, but cool-ish.
Right. Now, the listeners of this podcast know where we stand on our big stem debate. But if we're talking about pure like glass shape science, stems are good for whites. I would agree. Otherwise, everybody knows I'm a stemless guy for day to day. Not if I'm not for a nice dinner. For a nice dinner, the stems come out.
That's the right call. Yeah. Nice dinner table, stems.
So so this is the Nose Knob Wine Podcast. We're going to pretend there's only 2 shapes of wine glasses. We don't need all that extra noise. Does it matter? And is it matter for red or white? And I think that is the answer 9 out of 10 times. Now we can get into, we can debate all the shapes and the kinds of wines, but what you said, I really agree with. White, a smaller opening, and red, a slightly wider opening.
Yeah.
And I think that, to me, the reason that matters, and the only reason to me the shape of the glass matters, is how wide the opening is. With the whites, you have a lot of interesting, delicate smells and aromas and flavors. So when that lip or the opening of the glass is a little more narrow, I think it's driving all the flavor into your nose. Like you're really getting it if it's mineral or tropical fruit or whatever. And then if you have a slightly wider opening to your glass, like you use for your reds, big, bold berry flavors, licorice, tobacco, you don't need to concentrate that into your nose.
And how do the glasses affect your swirl game?
For me, they don't they don't really. I can make a mess with any shaped glass.
I find that the whites, you don't even need to swirl as much. Like I'm a swirl guy. I like to swirl my reds around, and those glasses, it's just easier to swirl in red glasses. Whites, since they are thinner and everything, you don't get as big of a swirl, but I find you don't need that in whites typically anyways. So it's just a little difference I noticed.
That's an interesting observation because I kind of agree with you. Even if a white wine has the same amount of alcohol as a red wine, I just find because of the sense that I'm going for, the alcohol's just not as intrusive, right? Because we swirl wine to help get some of the alcohol out of the glass and open up the flavor compounds.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you before you take a nice whiff of the wine, you always swirl it just to release those aromas in the red, and you take a big sniff, and then I take a sip. That's usually how I do it. In the whites, I don't find I have to do that. Just a little smell and sip.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've never really thought about it, but I definitely am less aggressive swirling my whites than I am my red.
Yeah.
There you go. I haven't thought about that. Let's talk about some glass etiquette for a little bit. So I think we can agree that, the shape of the glass isn't that consequential as it is the size of the opening of the glass. We seem to be agreeing on this because it sounds like this is what we practice this at our own homes. When you're cleaning a wine glass that can't go in the dishwasher, okay, it's got a stem.
Okay.
You have any tips, tricks? Like how do you handle that?
Yeah, pour a little bit of water in it and then leave it to clean the next day when you're alcohol free in your system, because that's the best way to break your glasses is to clean them that night and you will break them. And my recommendation, definitely, if it's stemless, just put it in the dishwasher. Give it a rinse in the dishwasher. It won't break in there. But the place where your wine glasses break is when you wash them in the sink, probably that night.
I like that. Chuck's pro tip: dry out before you wash your glasses.
That's right. They'll keep them longer.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, if I had a nickel for every broken wine glass, I'd have a couple of bucks. not enough to buy a new wine glass.
Oh, your set's all messed up if you break just one.
Oh, I know. I think that's probably why I have so many, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of screw it up. And I know people like crystal. I have a mix of crystal and I have a mix of glass. I don't really. The glass is just heavier. It just depends what you like.
Yeah, and the lip on the glass is a little thicker, and the lip on the crystal is always thinner and more delicate,
Much thinner,
which is a nice touch if you want to spend the extra cash.
Yeah. My only tip to cleaning a wine glass, especially if you have a stem, if you do this, you need to stop. Is let's say you put the sponge in the glass, do not twist the glass, and you move the sponge around the glass. You can snap a stem off doing that, and it's
really?
Yeah. Never twist the glass.
Do you use soap when you clean your wine glasses?
I do. Yeah, I don't care. I do, but I try not to put, I'll never put my good, quote unquote, good glasses in the dishwasher because I just find maybe it's the detergent, but it leaves a scent and I don't like it.
Right. Makes sense.
Do you put everything in the dishwasher or just your everyday stemless?
I put everything in the dishwasher that fits everything.
Everything.
I hate washing dishes.
I'm sure you're not alone. So yeah, please don't twist your stems. And when you're drying it, like you shove your drying cloth into the glass and don't twist again. Like you're just asking for troubles. Here's another pro tip, a little bit of glass etiquette. So if you're having guests and you're having dinner and you served a white and then you decide, okay, we're going to switch to a red, same glass or new glass?
New glass. At least rinse it out.
Yes. Yeah.
You're going to make a little quasi rosé.
Correct answer is new glass or clean your glass. Yeah. In a restaurant, they would never ever reuse a glass like that. I don't think it's like a major faux pas. Like, let's be clear. That's very traditional. If you don't have, if you don't have 20 glasses on standby, just give her a rinse, quick rinse, cold plain water, and reuse the glass. That's fine.
Yeah.
Ideally. I mean, if you're just like a Tuesday night wine and you just finished the white bottle and you want another glass of red, I'm not going out of my way to do anything too crazy.
Right. Yeah. White to red, not as big of an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Red to white is a little more challenging.
Yeah. That's when you make the rosé.
What would you spend on a nice wine glass?
One?
Yeah, well, you don't really buy them in one. I guess you can. Sure, one.
If I was going to buy my one nice ideal glass for red or white, I'd go up to $20, but that's probably enough for one glass. As a max, this is my ideal wine glass.
Okay, so this isn't your everyday wine glass.
No. I thought you were meaning hey, what would you max out on one real nice wine glass?
Right.
$20.
Yeah, I think that's about right. If you're gonna get a nice crystal wine glass that you're gonna be really proud of and take really good care of. Yeah,
that's right.
$20 a glass. That's about right. I have in my stemless. Don't tell anybody. Some of mine are from the dollar store. And they're glass, and they're $2. Mm-hmm. And the reason I like them, because they're glass, is they get chucked in the dishwasher.
Sure.
They get knocked by the dog. They yeah. You know what? I can't justify. So let's take Riddell for a second, which is my other stemless glasses, which are sort of if I'm having company stemless glasses. You're looking at about 2 glasses for about $20. Ish, $25, so about let's call it $12 a glass.
Yep.
I can't be breaking $12 wine glasses on the regular.
No, it's unsustainable.
It's a budget line item we just can't afford here. Not at No Snob Wine. I mean, that's rich people talk.
Yeah, and the wine tastes the same. Let's be real.
Yeah. Whether it's glass or crystal, is the shape is what matters. The materials don't. It's just whatever you like.
Yeah.
I mean, my understanding is you don't put crystal glassware in the dishwasher because I think the detergent is pretty harsh. That being said, I think I do it. Don't tell anybody.
I put mine in there.
Okay, well, let's not tell anybody that. It's a secret between you and me.
Gotcha. That I'm lazy and put everything in the dishwasher. Everyone knows.
Are your drinking glasses, like your water glasses, are they the same stemless wine glass, or do you have something different?
Yeah, they're different. My wine glasses are just wine, and then I have just regular like table water glasses.
That helps.
Do you
It's
do you use wine glasses, water as well? You class up your water like that?
I have both, and I found sometimes my guests find it confusing on the table when there's two or more wine glasses.
Oh,
Like
okay.
they're not confused. Like, oh, what do I do? But if you have two similar looking wine glasses, that's actually an interesting point because isn't it? It's always weird. I've never worked in a restaurant, but we sit down and usually there's a water glass that looks very much like a wine glass, and then
Mhm.
you order wine. They take the water glass away and bring another wine glass, and I'm just always like, what? How much stemware are you going through in a service? Like,
Yeah, I don't know what that's about actually.
I don't know. They take the glass. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not that fussy. If I have guests over, when they arrive, I usually will serve wine with whatever snacky food we're having, and if they want to carry that glass with them into the dining room, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine. I have got glasses there, so that is something I do with guests. Is I will have a wine glass at their seat at the table, and one that
Mhm.
I hand them with their first drink. And the reason I do that is then they don't feel like they have to keep track of their glass, or if they put it down or it's empty, then it just goes away. But when you get to the dining room, there's a fresh glass waiting for you.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get invited to a Psalm's house for dinner. Separate glasses. This is the glass for this room. This is the glass for that room. Don't feel you have to hold on to this glass if you don't want to. I got fresh glass in the cupboard if those are not acceptable to you. Very
yet,
nice.
yet I only give everybody one fork, so we don't have that many manners. And then sort of in the same vein of glassware, and this came up in one of our recent podcasts about decanting wine. I think it was episode 8, maybe. Don't quote me.
Mhm.
I have a Riddell crystal decanter. You're using a science beaker, which is brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
So you do not need fancy glassware to decant your wine. I just want to reiterate that.
Nope, use a glass pitcher if you want.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think we agreed that for stemware, the shape really doesn't matter in our humble opinions, but the size of the opening of the glass does. So if you've got a glass with a slightly smaller opening, tulip shaped for your whites, and a little bit wider, maybe a little bit taller for your reds, I think you're going to get the most out of your wine experience.
Agreed.
So Chuck, you've got a red from Spain. So we've moved away from Italy this week. Tell us about it.
Yeah, not too far, right next door to Spain, so I'm still at home. It is a Montecillio Rioja Reserva from 2013. The price is $18.95. This is your Spanish benchmark, middle of the road red wine here. It's old world, medium everything, medium body, tannins, the oak level, the fruit, the long finish, very middle of the road, very Spanish, very old world. If you're looking to experience that, and I think you should since it gives you like a real benchmark for the category and the country, try this one out. It's Montecillio Rioja Reserva 2013 for $18.95, 4 out of 5 stars. So, Sean, earlier you told me to get this bottle of wine because you said you enjoyed it. I did go out and pick it up. I haven't tried it yet. Tell everyone what it is.
Yeah, I did. I emailed Chuck right after I opened it. It was like, you've got to get a bottle of this. In my review, I said it was extremely versatile. I poured this, tasted it, had it for dinner, and was just so pleasantly surprised. It's kind of old world. It's kind of new world. It could go with so many foods. It was absolutely delicious. It was so easy to drink. It's from Portugal, which is not somewhere I spend a lot of time. I don't think you do either. No. And the grapes, it's really interesting, right? Because we, in North America and around the world, like we drink a lot of Cab, we drink a lot of Merlot, Sangiovese is very popular, Shiraz, et cetera, et cetera.
Classic big names.
Exactly. This is the stuff they're growing everywhere. This is a total departure from that. These are two very, very popular grapes in Portugal. So this bottle is 80% Castelāo and 20% Touriga Nacional. Those are two grapes that are known to Portugal, and it was delicious. I can't wait for you to try it. We've had it with a few different foods. It worked every time. It's fresh, it's lively, it's medium bodied, it's delicious. Water Dog, red blend, $12.80, 4 out of 5 stars. Welcome to the... Oops. We figure out if the shape of your wine glass makes a difference in your enjoyment of wine. That sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Makes your wine taste better. Not large, not small.
No.
Not awesome.
Right in the middle.
Medium.
It is
I don't know. I know it's medium body with medium oak and medium tannins.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
I
right.
read that
And
somewhere.
it's also an old world Spanish red.
Thank you. We'll be here all week. Tip your servers.
Oh yeah. This is why you need to listen to everyone. Tell you it's very middle of the road Spanish.
Don't tell anybody they speak Spanish in Portugal. They're going to get your ass handed to you.
Oh, we got big compliments on the top pages. They printed and brought in our top picks page, and they're like, keep these coming. These are all great picks. Even the whites, the reds, keep them coming. Put more on those pages.
I was waiting for you to give me shit to update my topics page. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts, as it helps other people find us.
Yeah, tell your friends about the podcast. We know they drink wine too.
For more information on any of the wines we discussed, go to nosnobwine.com or check the show notes for links. The Wine Podcast for Everyone is a production of No Snob Media.